Chapter 10, On Topology. In this chapter, Sun Tzu discusses the significance of understanding various types of terrain in warfare. Some terrains are easy, others difficult, some neutral, others narrow, rugged, or open. When the terrain is accessible, be the first to establish your position, choosing sunny heights in a location suitable for transporting supplies. This way, you will have an advantage when engaging in battle. When you find yourself in challenging terrain that is hard to navigate, you are limited. In such terrain, if your enemy is unprepared, you can win by pressing forward. However, if the enemy is prepared, advancing further will make it difficult for you to retreat, working against you. In terrain unfavorable to both sides, it is considered neutral ground. Even if the adversary offers you an advantage, do not exploit it. Instead, withdraw, enticing the enemy to move some of their troops out, and then strike when the conditions are favorable. In narrow terrain, if you arrive first, occupy it entirely and wait for the enemy. If the enemy arrives first and blocks the passages, do not pursue. Pursue only if the passages are not blocked. In rugged terrain, if you arrive first, take the high and sunny points and await the enemy. If the enemy has already occupied them, withdraw and do not pursue. In open terrain, the force of momentum is evenly matched, making it difficult to engage the enemy in unfavorable conditions. Understanding these 6 types of terrain is the chief responsibility of a general and is essential to consider. These are the configurations of the terrain. Generals who ignore them are defeated. Among troops, there are those who flee, those who retreat, those who collapse, those who rebel, and those who are defeated. None of these circumstances are natural disasters but are instead due to the mistakes of generals. Troops with equal momentum that engage at a ratio of 1 to 10 are defeated. Those with strong troops but weak officers are forced to retreat. Those with weak soldiers commanded by strong officers will find themselves in trouble. When senior officers act in anger, are violent, and engage the enemy impulsively, and when generals disregard their capabilities, the army falls apart. As a general rule, to defeat the enemy, the entire military command must have a single purpose, and all military forces must cooperate. When generals are weak and lack authority, orders are unclear, officers and soldiers lack cohesion, and formations are chaotic, rebellion occurs. Generals who are defeated are those unable to assess their adversaries, engage with superior or better equipped forces, or select troops based on their preparedness. If you employ soldiers without distinguishing between the prepared and unprepared, the daring and the timid, you are setting yourself up for your own defeat. These are the 6 ways to be defeated. Understanding these situations is the supreme responsibility of generals and must be considered. The first is failing to assess the number of forces, the second is the absence of a clear system of rewards and punishments, the third is insufficient training, the fourth is irrational passion, the fifth is the inefficacy of the law of order, and the sixth is the failure to select strong and resolute soldiers. Terrain configuration can support the army. For military leaders, the right course of action is to assess the enemy to ensure victory and calculate risks and distances. Those who fight battles with this understanding are victorious, while those who fight without it are defeated. Therefore, when the laws of war indicate a certain victory, it is clearly appropriate to engage in battle, even if the government has ordered not to attack. If the laws of war do not indicate certain victory, it is suitable not to engage in battle, even if the government has ordered an attack. In this way, you advance without seeking glory, order a retreat without evading responsibility, with the sole purpose of protecting the population and benefiting the government. This provides a valuable service to the nation. Advancing and retreating against government orders are not done for personal interest but to safeguard the lives of the population and serve the government's true interests. Servants of this caliber are very useful to a nation. Look after your soldiers as you would a newborn, they will be willing to follow you to the deepest valleys. Care for your soldiers as you do for your beloved children, and they will gladly die with you. However, if you are too kind to them to the extent that you cannot utilize them, too lenient to give them orders, and too informal to discipline them, your soldiers will become like spoiled children and, thus, useless. Rewards should not be used alone, and reliance solely on punishments is ill-advised. Otherwise, troops, like spoiled children, become accustomed to enjoying or resenting everything. This is harmful and renders them ineffective. If you know that your soldiers are capable of attacking but are uncertain whether the enemy is vulnerable to an attack, you have only half a chance of winning. If you know that your enemy is vulnerable to an attack but are uncertain if your soldiers are capable of attacking, you still only have half a chance of winning. If you know that the enemy is vulnerable to an attack, your soldiers can execute it, but you are unsure if the terrain conditions favor battle, you have only half a chance of victory. Therefore, those who understand the martial arts do not waste time in their movements and do not exhaust themselves when they attack. This is why it is said that when you know yourself and know others, victory is not in danger. When you know the heavens and the earth, victory is inexhaustible. In a business context, Sun Tzu's teachings from Chapter 10 of The Art of War can be applied to strategic planning and management. Understanding terrain. In the business world, terrain represents the competitive landscape, industry conditions, and market dynamics. Just as generals must understand various terrains, business leaders should analyze and comprehend the different aspects of their market, including customer segments, competitors, and regulatory environments. Strategic positioning. Similar to establishing a strong position on favorable terrain in warfare, businesses should identify and occupy advantageous market positions. This could involve selecting target customer segments, geographic locations, or product niches that offer strategic advantages. Adaptation to challenges. When facing challenging market conditions, businesses must adapt. If competitors are well prepared, it's important to consider alternative strategies or find unique value propositions. Staying agile and responsive is crucial in such situations. Neutral ground. Neutral ground in business can refer to market segments or opportunities where neither competitors nor your business has a significant advantage. In these cases, rather than exploiting the situation directly, it may be wise to withdraw temporarily, let competitors commit resources, and then re-enter with a well-thought-out plan. Different types of markets. Recognize that different markets require different approaches. Just as narrow, rugged, or open terrains have unique characteristics, different market segments may have specific demands and competition levels. Tailoring strategies to suit these variations is vital. Leadership and teamwork. Effective leadership and teamwork are critical in both warfare and business. Business leaders should ensure that their teams have a shared vision and work together harmoniously to achieve strategic goals. Assessing risks and rewards. Evaluating risks and rewards is fundamental. In business, decisions to enter new markets, launch products, or make investments should be based on careful analysis, much like generals assessing the chances of victory in battle. Managing personnel. The importance of managing personnel applies to business as well. Leaders should strike a balance between being supportive and setting clear expectations. This ensures that employees are motivated and disciplined, leading to a more effective workforce. Motivation and discipline. Motivating employees and instilling discipline is crucial for productivity and achieving business objectives. Leaders should understand their team members' strengths and weaknesses and provide appropriate incentives. Balancing rewards and punishments. In business, the balance between rewards and punishments is essential for employee morale and performance. Overemphasizing one or the other can lead to unintended consequences, such as complacency or resentment. Knowing your market and competition. Just as understanding the enemy is crucial in warfare, knowing your market and competition is key in business. This knowledge helps in making informed decisions and formulating effective strategies. Agility and efficiency. Finally, the concept of not wasting time or resources and avoiding exhaustion applies to business. Being efficient and agile in operations, decision-making, and resource allocation is vital for success. In summary, Sun Tzu's teachings emphasize the importance of strategic thinking, adaptability, effective leadership, and a deep understanding of the business landscape. By applying these principles, businesses can better navigate competitive challenges and increase their chances of success.